Hello again. Today I'm also presenting on behalf of my colleague George. So we're giving an overview of the expert team in a little bit more detail, the kind of research, the work that we do in expert, as well as outlining some of the exploration technologies for future missions and how generally we do exploration preparation inside this team. So as you saw from a number of presentations earlier from our colleagues at ASI and also from James, there is now this really nice European exploration envelope program. It has 4 major cornerstones: humans in LEO, humans beyond LEO, moon robotic activities and Mars robotic activities. And then, of course, to bookend this particular slide, we have the expert team, which I'll talk more about, and also the SciSpace team. So these are all part of the exploration activities of ESA. We also have a commercialization cross-cutting activity. So we're always looking for commercialization opportunities within the envelope program. And that's the quick overview of what E3P is. In addition to that, we also have a notional strategy roadmap. This was presented last November to their ministers at the Ministerial Council. It's called Terra Nova 2030, and it basically outlines the kind of things that we want to do going forward. In particular, if we're looking here at the moon, you can see a lot of interesting activities being planned for the future. So we have cargo, science, and ISU demonstrations. We have power and comms. We have the ISU pilot plant. And all of these things are being planned, and all of them are also going to be supported by the Argonaut lander to a certain degree, which you can see on the bottom here as well. So there's this envelope program. There's a nice strategy for exploration going forward, and there's these teams then whose job it is to support the implementation of the exploration program. And again, this slide, as you saw earlier, expert, we have a mandate then to help prepare future exploration missions, to help raise the technologies that are important for all these activities to a level that they're ready and able to be used and implemented inside this activities going forward, as well as working with our international partners to realize more opportunities perhaps around the exploration program. So technologies for exploration, it's a really fascinating thing to be part of expert, because on the left here, you can see these technology areas, and it basically covers almost everything, which is great. So we have a huge kind of scope to work within. I also highlight here novel energy systems, because I'll be giving you a bit more information about that later on. But what I like is the actual picture in the middle here, is that how expert works and how we envisage ourselves supporting is, of course, there's a number of exploration scenarios defined. These lead to mission concepts that are then further refined, and many of you are involved in this particular aspect of things. And then it's our responsibility to help promote these core technologies to meet the exploration mission concepts that are being suggested. So it makes no sense to suggest a new concept for a mission if the technology is not ready to be implemented. And the expert's job is to help push those technologies forward to the level where they're ready to be utilized. How do we do this? There's a number of different mechanisms. These are 2 kind of philosophical approaches that you can see here. There's this concept of technology push versus mission pull. So technology push is basically taking innovative new ideas, perhaps from internal ESA experts, but also from outside, bringing them in, essentially technology being pushed into the agency. And this is something that, if you have a really new, clever idea for a new surface analysis system, this is something that perhaps could be pushed in by approaching ESA. But also we have the more classical approach to technology development, which is mission pull, where we have a very specific mission profile, with a very specific application in mind, and we want to develop the technologies for that. So we will say what we want and hopefully get the response from the community and the industries. So then going into period 3, which is the current period of the exploration program, expert is not surprisingly quite busy in helping to prepare many technologies and mission concepts for the future. Via consultations with our colleagues in the various different boards, like the program boards of ESA, the EUB, and so forth, we now have a work plan, and we've now identified that the highest priority items we should be working on in expert are mission pull technologies. So this really defines a little bit more how we're going forward in period 3. In addition to funding directly from expert to support the development of these activities, we also make use of the other funding systems of ESA. So, for example, excuse me, we make use of the Discovery Program. This is also the OSIP platform that many of you have seen before. We also use TDE, technology development activities, GSTP, and as expert funding, and then also the spaceships as well help a little bit in this. And in fact, If you're interested in learning more about what we're doing in the area of technology push and pull, you can actually go to the expert home site on the ESA website. You can see this exploration technology compendium, and it has a really nice layout and detail on all the different technologies that we're working for at the moment. And then internally within expert, within ESA as well, how do we coordinate these activities? So our directorate then coordinates the technology activities for exploration. We have a working group that helps manage this across the different directorates. And then every so often we have technology push and technology pull requirements defined. This is done actually annually. And then these are all coordinated very well across our directorate and also within the working group across all of ESA. So it's quite harmonious in terms of how we actually push these technologies forward. So just to give you kind of an example then of how we would move forward on technology development, let's look, for example, particularly in the area of power generation for night survival. Of course, many mission profiles, mission concepts demand night survival capability. So it's something that we recognize we have to develop. We as experts then have to respond to this. We have to now develop the technologies or push forward on the technologies that we think will be important for this. So the key aspects for night survival and energy generation are things like variable solar illumination, power management, night survival, and the different technology you would go about doing that. So we now have a number of activities that have been run via experts towards developing a response to the challenge of night survival and power generation on the moon. This video. So for example, we've been working on development of high power solar arrays. So this is an example of us issuing a requirement that we need this. And you can see we're also not only responding to our own internal requirements, we're also satisfying the requirements of the General Exploration Roadmap, the GER. So not only that, we're also aligned with the ISEC-G and GER products as well. So we needed high power solar arrays to be developed. In addition, we also need technologies for night survival. So this has led us to leading a number of large activities in the area of fuel cell activities. So for example, looking into high pressure electrolyzers, looking into electrochemical systems for oxygen storage and purification, and large scale regenerative systems as well. So these are the kind of technologies that we're developing now to support night survival activities. And then lastly, and also quite interestingly, we've also been helping push forward on the development of radioisotope power. So again, this is responding to internal requirements for night survival capability, but also responding to the General Exploration Roadmap's requirements for using nuclear power as a key enabling technology. So again, it's a really nice compendium of technology we have here. If this is the kind of thing that you'd like to learn a bit more about, I would genuinely recommend checking out the expert homepage. All these different technology areas are highlighted. All the different things we're doing in expert to address them are listed there. And I think it's a really fun team to be part of. A lot of interesting activities happening on that. And I think it's a lot of these technologies will be there available to you in the future to support the missions to the moon in the next decades. So on that point, thank you all for your attention, and I hope I'm on time. Yeah.